like that. He always went home. So he's like, I like this idea. So we stayed in the studio, I'd say literally 4 months before we left, to go to a hotel. But I had a hotel room. He was paying for a hotel room for 4 months when he built me a bedroom and a shower and everything. I didn't need to go. So I had a hotel room for 4 months and being paid for, and I'd never been there. And then finally, I got a chance to go to the hotel room when the second verse was supposed to have been sung on Remember the Time. Michael Jackson takes a plane to Switzerland to go look at his new business, which is a shopping center. And I'm waiting for him to come back in the room for us to finish the song. And no Michael. So he calls me with, the brick phone, the big heavy first cell phone. He calls me from the plane as he's about to take off. And he said, Teddy. I said, yes, Michael. He said, that was a great session, right? I said, yes, it was wonderful. Are you coming back to finish the verse? He said, I have to leave. I said, where? He said, I have to go to Switzerland to go see the shopping center and approve the stores that, they built inside. And I said, Michael, I would like to go home too. He said, no, you can't go. You can't leave. Don't be like the other guys. I'm like the other guys. He said, yes, Dallas came and he left without telling me. And I'm so happy you mentioned, I'm gonna be back in about a week or so. I didn't see Michael for about 2.5 weeks. So I said, well, I miss my family. He said, bring them. I said, well, I miss my friends too. He said, bring them too. Listen, call Evie or call Norma, who was his assistants at the time. Call them. And he didn't wait for me to call them. He had them call me. What could I do for you, Mr. Rowley? I said, well, I don't know what the budget is. Don't worry about the budget. What could I do? I said, well, my family and my friends are coming. They're gonna need cars. Okay. Where are we gonna stay? Wherever you wanna stay. So they put me in the Nico. Remember, the Nico is now the SLS. And they put me in there, and it was the indecent proposal room where they had the piano, and for me, and I had one daughter at the time, which was Deja, who he fell in love with. And finally 2 weeks came, had all my fun with the family. He came back. In fact, he came to pick me up at the Nico. And we went to the studio. In fact, we went to go get some ice cream first, and then we went to the studio, and then we finished Remember the Time. And I can remember him saying that this is going to be a smash. Because his terminology of smash is a record that is on the charts. That's more than 5 weeks. #1. That's a smash.
That's
a record that's on the chart. For 1 week or 2 weeks, you got a hit. And that's how he describes a smash. So that's how we finished that song. And every song was sort of like, we have to wait for Michael.
And on that first album that you produced with him, what was that album called?
Dangerous.
And did you produce the whole album?
You might as well say.
Yes.
And how many records did that sell? How many records did that sell?
It's over 34 million. Over 34 million. And in fact, when he passed, the sales went up even more. So I don't know where we're at right now. Yeah.
Well, I have a Michael Jackson question for you. A few years ago, I wrote this book called Michael Jackson Inc., and you gave me one of my favorite stories, not just Michael stories, but anybody stories, and that was how you were going to give No Diggity to Michael Jackson. So tell me what happened.
Well.
Did Michael hear No Diggity?
No. It was just on my mind. You know how, I have to tell y'all, I used to steal songs from my artists and give them to like Heavy D. Heavy D would come and I would let him hear records and I'll say, this is for Rex. And he'll listen, and he'll go, next thing you know, he's writing the rap in his head, like it's his. That's when you know somebody have favor. You know, he just came in and he's like, everybody shake your body. You know, let the body moving. So we got our own thing for the Rex and the Fat. And he goes, that's mine, Ted, right? I was like, no, it's not. That's Rex, man. He's like, you gotta give that to me, Ted. I mean, come on, man. We go way back when Flash used to rock on the beatbox. You gotta give me that record.